Welcome to London, to England, to the United Kingdom, the land of Brexit, as some people would have it called. But we can't be serious about that. But that's another issue and more meetings which will go on forever and ever. And it does get a bit boring, unlike ME, which is getting kind of exciting at the minute in terms of our approach. And that's due to people like you who have been faithful and loyal and come to meetings and done work in your communities and reported to us what's happening and what's not happening, and that gives us a chance to influence the process. But I can't let this go by as easily as that, because I just want to say something about the charity. I mean, my interest in it, I never knew about ME until about 12, 13 years ago. I was always taught in medical school there's no such thing. And it still goes on, And it happened to me when constituents came to see me, and I went to their homes and saw what was happening. And the first time I thought it was a malingerer, of course, because that's what you're taught as a doctor to believe, And then after the second and third and fourth one, you knew there was something going on, and it's gone on from there. And I've learned from many, many people now that it's universal, it happens across the world, and people are getting a real bad deal, and something has to happen to make sure that the next generation, if not before, is advantaged by some of the wonderful medical treatments and new discoveries that are being made to help their lives and make life much more pleasurable. I want to say something about the charity quickly. I can't let it go, because I've been involved in lots of charities, particularly in the cancer world, and a lot of them collect a lot of money, and they build great big buildings and hire lots of administrators and staff and use a lot of the money from the public. And I've been involved in them on committees and have walked off them because I don't like the way sometimes the money is used. This charity is nothing like that. I've never seen money. Somebody paid the taxi fare this morning. You don't know who it is, But, it's a charity where there's so much volunteering and people doing things for nothing. And I want particularly to mention Kathleen, of course, for being president of the charity. These guys do everything for nothing. And I always say it would cost us £100,000 if we were running a real charity, with their public money. And they do it for nothing. It's amazing that there are people who have that commitment, and you'll know that from working with them. And thank you for supporting the charity, those of you who've done so in the past. I want to say the last 3 days have been amazing. The first day was the young people, of course. Always nice to see young people, little sods. They're so young and beautiful, and they've got life coming to them. but seriously, then we have the people who've been around doing research, and it's growing all the time. And I'm so glad that biomedical research has found its time has come, that people are doing it. And I hope today that you will find it really interesting and be able to ask questions and make some ideas put forward to them. There's a confidence, as I've watched growing over the years. I think I've been to every one of these things, right from the beginning, from being in Parliament to here. And I've watched the confidence growing in the people who work in this field, and more people now are getting involved in the research and getting excited about it. And ideas were exchanged in the last 3 days, which are amazing. People are looking for the solutions. Every talk mentioned a patient. There's not many medical meetings you go to where that happens, actually. People get kind of engrossed in the details of the technologies and so on. But the patient has always been central. So I'm so pleased that they have a chance to talk to you today, the scientists who've come along to give you a flavour, a taste of what actually is going on. You can't hear all the talks, of course. We haven't got 3 days. But nevertheless, there's some exciting work going on, and there'll be more exciting work. And I, would go to the bookies if I could get the odds and put money on that eureka moment coming at some point. There's no doubt about it. You can just tell when you've watched science growing in different areas. Ron will talk later about molecular biology and stuff. And we watched how that grew from nothing, from subjects which were called physiology at the time and became molecular biology. And they've made so many discoveries which have all been pertinent to medical treatments and so on. And that's beginning to happen too. And people are trying things. There's adventure, there's sharing of ideas, there's criticism of each other or suggestions. Everything's happening which should happen in good research. And sometimes things work out and sometimes things don't, but that's just research. But trying it is what it's all about. And it's so good to see many young people coming forward in their training now to carry out some of this work. So we're going to have our eureka moment at some time. Who knows, one of you might come up with a brilliant idea today that somebody goes back to the lab and it works. But the role of the patient is key. From a political world, the patient's voice has to be heard. Nothing done without the patients having a say in it, and that goes for the science as well. So hopefully you're going to contribute. It's nice to have people from the United States and other countries as well here, because it's beginning to get really international now. We meet people from different countries, all who are sharing ideas and making things happen. So I'm very pleased to invite the first speaker, Beth Unger, who will tell you what she does in her daily work. But she's from America and Atlanta in Georgia, and she'll tell you about the outfit she works for and how they're getting behind the initiatives that are going on in this field. So thank you for coming. Get stuck in, pin their ears back, ask them questions. Don't let the technology, the big words fool you. They're only kidding. They don't know what they mean themselves. So get stuck into them and ask questions that you think are rubbish, because they will be pertinent. Thank you very, very much for bringing us all together again. It is exciting. Thank you.